All right, let's jump right into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but I promise you it's very, very real. We're digging into a proposal from Star Nations and ThinkOn for, get this, the world's first Indigenous-led AI data center in space. Yeah, you heard that right. And as we're about to see, it's not just a cool idea, it's a very real answer to some massive problems we're facing down here on Earth.
And that really tees up the huge question this whole thing is built on. Artificial intelligence is getting so powerful, so hungry for energy, that our power grids literally can't keep up. So, what do? Maybe you have to stop looking around for a solution and start looking up.
So, an AI data center? In space? I know, it sounds a little out there, but why would anyone want to do that? Well, it turns out the biggest headaches for AI aren't about the software. They're about the planet itself.
Look, here's the bottom line. The AI revolution is hitting a wall, and that wall is our power grid. It's an energy crisis, plain and simple. We're talking about major tech companies waiting, get this, 7 years just to plug in a new data center. That's insane. But space, you've got unlimited solar power and the best cooling system imaginable, the vacuum of space. It's totally free. So the problem down here is precisely why the solution is up there.
Okay, but what makes this possible right now? I mean, why didn't this happen 5 years ago? It's because we're seeing what you could call a perfect market storm. 3 massive trends are all crashing together at the exact same time.
So what are these 3 big drivers? You've got a booming market for data centers in space, a huge pile of cash from the Canadian government, and this really important growing movement for Indigenous data sovereignty. Let's dig into each one.
First off, the market. This isn't some tiny niche idea anymore. We're talking about a market for space-based data centers that's projected to hit a mind-blowing $39 billion by 2035. And with the cost of getting things into orbit dropping like a rock, it's not just possible, it's actually getting cost-effective.
Driver number 2? The Canadian government is putting its money where its mouth is. They've just poured over $3 billion into new projects for things like satellite communications and Arctic security. What does that mean? It means you have a huge, built-in customer base that's hungry for exactly this kind of secure, Canadian sovereign, space-based tech.
And the third piece of this puzzle is just as crucial, and it's all about ethics and control. It's called Indigenous data sovereignty, and it's pretty simple, really. It's the fundamental right for Indigenous peoples to own and control their own data. Data about their lands, their resources, their communities. This isn't just a nice idea. It's being driven by frameworks like OCAP and the UN. It's becoming a real market requirement.
Okay, so you have this perfect storm brewing. The big question is, who's in the right place at the right time to actually ride that wave? Well, this is where the alliance between these 2 partners gets so incredibly smart.
And this is where it all just clicks together like 2 perfect puzzle pieces. On one side, you have Star Nations. They're an Indigenous certified business, and they bring the hardware, the Eagle One satellite. On the other side, you've got ThinkOn. They're Canada's top sovereign cloud provider, already approved for high-level government security work. They have the ground game. It's just a perfect match.
So you have the 2 partners. How does it all actually work? Let's walk through how they combine their strengths to create this seamless solution for Canada. The whole flow is actually beautifully simple. Step 1, Star Nations Eagle One satellite grabs the data up in orbit. Step 2, it beams it down securely to ground stations right here in Canada. Step 3, that data goes straight into ThinkOn's ultra-secure sovereign cloud. And here's the most important part, Step 4. It's all managed under Canadian law and for the first time ever with Indigenous governance. This is how you solve the data sovereignty problem.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? What you end up with is a business proposition that's not just strong, it's something that right now is basically impossible for anyone else to copy.
And this is what we call a competitive moat. I mean, just think about it. Who else out there has this exact mix? Indigenous leadership, check. Real Canadian data sovereignty, check. The highest government security clearances already in place, check. And the whole integrated satellite-to-cloud package? Nobody. Competitors might have a piece of it, but no one has the whole thing. That is a massive head start.
And having that kind of head start? Well, that's where the money comes in. And these numbers aren't even the crazy optimistic ones. This is the conservative forecast. You're seeing growth from $4 million in the first year to over $150 million by year 5. And that's coming from government, First Nations, and big companies all lining up.
But hold on, because the long-term view is even bigger. The potential upside here is projected at a staggering $3.5 billion over 10 years. That's the kind of opportunity you get when you're the first one to the party with a solution that everybody needs.
But, this is about so much more than just money. The impact on a national level is huge. We're talking about finally achieving real Canadian data sovereignty, not controlled by foreign laws. It's about genuine economic reconciliation, creating high-tech futures in Indigenous communities. And it puts Canada on the map as a global leader, all while beefing up our security in the Arctic and helping us fight climate change. It's a win-win-win.
I just want to leave you with this one quote from the proposal itself, because it really sums it all up. The world's first Indigenous AI data center in space is not a vision for the distant future. It is a market-ready opportunity for 2026. This isn't a someday project. It's a right-now opportunity.
And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. For so long, it feels like technology has just barreled ahead and we try to make things like sovereignty and ethics catch up later. But what if we flip that? This whole partnership makes you wonder, what happens when sovereignty and technology are designed to work together from the very beginning? What kind of future can we build then?